Oh, nice. I need to get one like that. I need to run.
Hey, everybody, thank you. Wow. Thank you for being here. Sorry to keep you waiting. We were a little bit late. That was his fault. I was too close to that. Well, thank you for being here. I got a question for everybody. Are we going to win Virginia? Yeah! I bet we will. Hey, by way of introduction, my name is Tagg Romney. Tagg is short for Taggart. That is unfortunately my real name. And I am the oldest of my dad's 5 boys. All of us are out on the road campaigning for my dad. Actually, the 4th brother, Ben, is a doctor in Salt Lake, and so he can't be on the road. He's in residency. So the rest of us are out campaigning for my dad, letting people know how good of a guy he is, how qualified he is. And I have 5 boys myself, so I follow his footsteps. I did one thing he can never do. I also had a daughter. So. No matter what he accomplishes in life, I did more than he did. So, boy, I see a lot of young people out here with us tonight. The reason my dad is running, and the reason I encouraged him to run, and my mom encouraged him to run, is we're worried about their future. This is, you know, as we went around, or as I've been going around, I had to ask my wife for permission first. I told the campaign a few months ago that I'd do anything they asked me to do, thinking they'd send me on the road a day or 2 a week. Well, they asked me to go on the road 6 or 7 days a week, and so I went to my wife and said, "Honey, what do you think of this?" We have of those 6 kids, the 2 youngest are twin boys at 4 months old. So there's a lot of work in our house to be done, and I felt bad leaving my wife to do it alone. And I said, "Honey, what do you think about me going on the road the last 3 months to campaign for my dad?" And she thought about it for a minute, and then she looked at that schedule, and then she looked up at me and she said, "You know, there is nothing you can do more important for our kids than getting your dad elected." And I think she's right. This is the most important election in my lifetime. You could not have a clearer choice between the 2 candidates. I don't need to tell you what the choice is. I think you know as well as I do just how different their visions are. I thought I'd tell a story or 2, and I apologize. I'm supposed to be at a debate. Who's coming to the debate watching party with me tonight? So that starts at 9. So we're going to hurry over there. You're all welcome. But I thought I'd tell a story or 2 about my dad that you might not have heard other places. And first is about how qualified he is, and the second is about just how good of a man he is. On the qualifications front, you all know all that he's done. I don't need to go through his bio, but over and over again he solves tough problems. Whether it's at the Olympics or at Bain Capital or in Massachusetts, he knows how to get things done. When he took over the Olympics, they had a $379 million budget deficit. That's a lot of money. And there were no new sponsors coming forward because the Games was mired in scandal. No one wants to be associated with that. In fact, they were losing sponsors. And so what do you do when that situation arises? Well, my dad, when he got brought in, he brought in all the smartest people he could. They attacked that budget. They made 3 categories of things. The stuff that you have to do. He said, okay, there's nothing we can do about that. We're going to have to do that stuff to put on a Games. The second bucket was things that we really want to do, but that we might not be able to afford to do. And you know, we don't want to cut very much of that stuff, but we might have to in order to be able to do the stuff in the first bucket. And the third, that got quieter. The third bucket was stuff that no one quite remembers why we're doing it, but it's there. And so he said, well, that was the easiest bucket to cut. Get rid of all that stuff. But then the real work began, cutting the stuff that you didn't want to cut, but you needed to. And a couple of years in, he'd made a lot of progress, 2 years in. And then their first new sponsor stepped forward. And then another, because they'd seen all the good work that he had done. And by the way, he changed the culture of the place. When he got there, instead of big fancy meals, he would order Domino's pizza and charge everyone $1 a slice. He just changed the way things were done. By the time, now you know what happens at Olympics. Olympics run deficits. That's just the way they work. Well, there's one exception. The Salt Lake Olympics ran a $100 million surplus. By the time he was done...